May the peace and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon you, wherever you are and wherever you are watching me from. Today indeed marks the 40th day anniversary after the martyrdom of Imam Shuhada al-Quds, the Imam of the Martyrs of Quds, that is Imam Sayyid Ali Khamenei. And today, you know that I'm in Iran, so I decided to walk around and see what is going on. What is going on in the street? What are people doing on the street? So this, we're going to watch together each and every video that I took from the street. Let's watch it together. We also everything that is going on. These people are celebrating this great hero for the Islamic Ummah. They don't see this personality as an Iranian asset. No, he is seen as an asset to the Islamic Ummah. And this is the truth. This is nothing but the truth. He is a great hero who stood for Islam, and he never ever turned his back on Islam. This is a great hero that history will be the witness to his vigors and also his braveness. Now let's talk about the negotiation which is going to happen within these days. The question on board is, who is having the upper hand? The upper hand indeed is with Iran, and there are so many reasons to that. Without me telling you my point of view, let's listen to this professor from America to see if he's telling the truth or not, and if what I'm saying is true or not.
The more interesting side is the Iranian side. They hold almost all the cards. They are in a really powerful position. By cutting off traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, they're in a position to tank the global economy. Just think about that. The leverage that they have is enormous. The consequences of what's happened so far for the international economy are going to be devastating. The fertilizers. People don't talk much about the fertilizers. They talk about the oil and gas. 1/3 of the world's fertilizers come through the Strait of Hormuz. This is planting season in lots of countries. The consequences of all this down the road. Many people are going to starve to death as a result of this crazy war. But the Iranians, right, they have huge leverage over the world economy. And we, of course, understand that. Furthermore, they have huge leverage over the GCC states, those 6 countries. Why? Because they can destroy them as functioning societies. They can destroy their energy infrastructure, but more importantly, they can destroy their desalination plants. These are big, fat targets, few in number. Iranians have lots of very accurate missiles and God knows how many drones. They can wreck those countries. This is a serious threat. That gives them huge leverage. So the basic problem that President Trump faces, this is the basic problem he faces, is he can't go up the escalation ladder because the Iranians can beat him on every rung because they have control of the Strait of Hormuz and they have the ability to wreck the GCC countries. And by the way, do enormous damage to Israel as well.
The reason mentioned by Professor John and other reasons gives us the certainty that indeed Iran is having the upper hand in this negotiation. And the thing is, before this war, Iranians were saying something, and I think the Western media didn't pay attention to it. Iranians were saying that what could not be achieved through negotiations can never be achieved through war. They said this. And after this war, Iranians are now saying that what cannot be achieved through war can never be achieved through negotiations. So now America, they tried negotiations, it failed. They tried war, it failed. They tried sanctions, it failed. Now they have no other option than to come low and accept Iranians' conditions. And this is the truth, because if they were able to achieve their aims and goals in the war, there was no point of negotiations. For the fact that they are calling for negotiation, meaning that they knew very well and they were certain that they were unable to achieve their aims and goals in this war. And this is the fact. And also regarding the Strait of Hormuz, one thing that people should understand is that the Strait of Hormuz before the war is not the same as the Strait of Hormuz after the war. Because the Strait of Hormuz before the war, ships were going through without any toll given. But now, after the war, ships are not going to pass through the Strait of Hormuz without any payment. There is going to be a tolling system that is going to be put in place. So now, Iran is having this card that we are going to open the Strait of Hormuz. However, each and every ship that is going to pass is going to pay a sum of an amount, is going to pay money for that. So the Strait of Hormuz before the war is not the same as the Strait of Hormuz after the war. And this is one of the mistakes and miscalculations committed by the Americans. They thought that when Iranians were saying that we will close the Strait of Hormuz anytime that you are going to impose any war on us, they thought that Iranians were bluffing. But here is the case that when they started the war, the second day Iranians demonstrated this, and they knew that the Iranians were serious. And this is the fact. Americans and the West, they are losing this negotiation just like they lost the war.